Hello and welcome to a very matching episode of the EJ Tech Show. We've got matching shirts, well almost matching, and we've also got nearly matching headphones over here. One of these headphones that we have in our hands is the new Sony WH-1000 XM4s, and one of them are the previous generation XM3s. It's this one, the one I'm holding is XM4s. But if you keep them,
Wanna check?
Let me just
Check.
Yeah.
Check the labels.
But the point we're trying to make is that if you put these right next to each other, you won't be able to tell the difference. But I think that's fine because that's also Sony's approach over here, their mantra. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And honestly, that's fine because last year's XM3s were, and they still are, a great pair of headphones.
Sony's actually done a really smart thing. Rather than trying to reinvent the wheel, they've said, you know what, we've got a really great product. People love it all around. There's no one who's really critical of this. So let's just take a few things that people really want, what the community wants, like wear detection, etc., that we'll get into later. They've just taken a few extra features and loaded them on, and it's just become an even better product.
And there are some new noteworthy features that we'll be talking about later on in this review. But first, let's talk about the big USP over here, which is noise cancellation. And we already know that the Sony 1000 XM3s are arguably the best wireless noise cancelling headphones that money can buy. And I'm happy to report that the XM4s, the noise cancellation, it's even better. Now you're getting the same QN1 noise cancelling processor over here as well, but Sony has introduced improved algorithm, which helps in reducing the noise even further. Now Sony claims you're getting 20% improvement in noise reduction when it comes to your day-to-day general stuff over the previous generation, and you're also getting 15% improvement when you're traveling in airplanes.
Well, I'm guessing a lot of people aren't traveling in airplanes right now.
To be fair.
But still, like when we're back up and traveling, globe-trotting, then yes, of course, this 15% will be a significant bump. Because when it's in percentage terms, then it doesn't really sound that convincing.
But the bottom line is that these will do a fantastic job of just shutting out the outside world. As soon as, even if you just put them on, no music, nothing, you will notice a considerable difference. And once you start playing music, it's a different story. Noise cancellation all the way. But you've been using the XM3s for a long time. You purchased these some time ago. I mean, how has noise cancelling been there for you? Like, is this the best noise cancelling headphones?
So I will say this is the first pair of noise cancelling headphones that I've bought with my own money. I've used others, I've worn others, but this was the first one that I said, you know what, this is worth the money, I'm going to buy it, because there's a certain fundamental principle that I follow when buying audio products, and that's that this is probably going to last me at least the next 5 to 10 years, especially if I take care of it. So I buy it keeping that in mind. And price is a big factor for a lot of people, especially at the price points that these are priced at. But then with the technology you're getting, the noise cancellation features you're getting, it's really worth it. The noise cancellation is just superb.
So no doubt it has, apart from excellent noise cancellation capabilities, these also deliver terrific sound output as well, and that shouldn't really come as a surprise. These headphones can handle lows, mids, highs, everything really well. I'll say this though, the bass on the XM3s though are slightly more powerful over there, and it's okay, it's not a big deal. Over here, what you're getting is more of a neutral sound profile.
Which is odd that you say that, because that was a singular complaint that I saw quite a lot of reviewers and tech bloggers also have about this initially when they were launched, that the XM3s were a little neutral compared to other stuff that Sony offers. But I think that's just Sony making a distinction between its base lineup with the XB series and the WH series by saying, you know what, we're going to take this even more neutral. So maybe for people that enjoy listening to clear tones, classical music, etc. Maybe the XM4.
And honestly, if the bass by default isn't to your liking, you can always tweak it from the Sony Headphones Connect app. So that shouldn't be much of a problem. But I think by default, the bass on that is easily 5 dB higher by default, just on that. Now, this time around, you're also getting Sony's proprietary LDAC audio codec technology, which basically lets in more high-res detail pass through wirelessly. And LDAC is a great codec to have. You didn't get it last time around, you're getting it this time. But the only thing I'll say about LDAC is that most people, when they're listening to music over here, they're going to be streaming from services like Spotify, so you're not going to be fully utilizing the complete awesomeness of LDAC. It's a great codec to have, like I said, but I would have appreciated if they had included aptX technology over here. You got that last year on the XM3s, but it's a missing feature over here. And aptX in general is slightly more consistent, and it also seems to work better for Android devices.
Yeah, because Qualcomm already has that.
Yeah.
Qualcomm is the one that develops aptX in the
Yeah.
first place, so you automatically have a better sort of synergy between the
Yeah.
devices.
More importantly, I want to talk about voice call quality now, because that was
It was a big pain
sore
point
point,
on
yeah,
this.
big pain point on the XM3s, and Sony has mostly rectified that, pretty much rectified that, because with the XM4s they've improved the quality of microphones over here, and basically it isolates, does a good job of isolating your voice. So anyone I spoke to basically said, yeah, it's absolutely fine, my voice was perfectly audible, it was very clear, there was nothing muffled about it, and also from my end, it was also pretty good. Okay, so let's come over to the design and build now, and like we said, the XM4s are nearly identical to the XM3s. There are some subtle differences if you look closely. Now you're getting a slimmer headband, and the casing is also a little bit thinner, but apart from that, you're still getting the same around ear headphones, you're getting that plastic frame with really nice matte finish. The biggest change, and even that is not noticeable at first, is now the inclusion of a new proximity sensor tucked away in the left ear cup. And basically what now this offers you is wear detection.
And I'm so glad about it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad, because that's something that I wish were there on the XM3s when I
Yeah.
bought them. That's the only pain point for me.
Yeah.
I really wish that there was a nice wear detection, that I do not always have to constantly pause my music
Yeah.
or use the touch controls.
Yeah.
I have to rely on some other way of pausing the music. It's just so convenient. I'm
So
glad
basically,
Sony
when
has it.
you take your headphones off, it'll pause anything that you're watching or listening to, and if
Yeah.
you put them back on, it'll resume playback. That's what wear detection means essentially. And yeah, you're right. It is a very, very important feature to have. Like, you get it in budget wireless
Exactly.
earbuds now
Exactly.
from Oppo and from all these other
Vivo, etc.,
brands.
yes.
So this was a big feature that was missing, and I'm really, really happy they've finally included it. Now, as far as your ports and buttons are concerned, you're pretty much covered. On the right ear cup, you've got your USB-C port. On the left side, on the left ear cup, you've got your headphone jack. So if you want to connect by a wire, you can do that as well. It does come with a wire in the case. You've also got your power button, which also doubles up as for your Bluetooth pairing. You've also got your custom button, which toggles between noise cancellation and ambient mode. So it's pretty much what you got in the last year's edition as well.
So now a usual suspect here on the XM3s, which are also there on the XM4, is the right touchpad acts as a touchpad.
Yeah.
So you can basically swipe and gesture for different controls like playing, pausing, skipping tracks, playing previous tracks, etc. So it's a really nifty function that way, as in you don't have to fiddle around for buttons underneath somewhere. You only have to fiddle around for the
Yeah, and
noise
the
cancellation
surface is
for
so
everything.
large that you really can't go wrong with it, even if you try.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Look, the only thing I'll say about the design is that they've played it very safe. Sony's played it safe over here. This looks a bit vanilla to me. I mean, especially considering this is the next generation flagship, you would have appreciated something slightly more flashier. But you're not getting that over here. They've just said, okay, it was working on the XM3s, let's just stick the same formula and let's just
Exactly.
pretty much make it nearly identical. Even now, these don't come with an official water resistance rating. These are not waterproof, these are not water resistant, so I seriously suggest you do not wear these while it's raining. And I also suggest that you do not work out in them, because obviously when you're working out, sweat will accumulate in those large air cups.
Yeah.
And considering now you have that sensor that we spoke about, you don't
Maybe
want,
not the best
you don't
idea
want
to-
sweat to creep in and damage that in the long run.
So another thing that's been carried over from the XM3s to the XM4s is the case. Now the case looks literally exactly the same, and also what remains the same is what you said. What you had a problem with is how you pack these headphones away.
Yeah.
Now the design that Sony's made inside, let me show you in fact. This is the sort of design that it has. So you have to pack up the headphones in a certain way, in a certain combination, and that's the only way they go in. The way I remember it is that you have the right cup, it twists inward, fold the upper cup and twist that inward. Once you do that, it fits in quite
There-
perfectly.
there
But
is-
that's something you have to remember.
There is no way you didn't see a tutorial and then do that.
I never saw a tutorial for it.
Or
Okay?
maybe you're good at
I'm just 3000 IQ, that's
yeah,
it.
Maybe you're good at jigsaws, but that is the jigsaw puzzle. And you know what? MKBHD agrees with me. So there you go. Okay, so like we'd said before, that Sony has added some new features over here to set it apart from the XM3s, the XM4s from the XM3s. We've already spoken about wear detection, and we've also spoken about the new LDAC audio codec technology. But another very cool feature, new feature that Sony's added to the XM4s is something called Speak to Chat. And as far as I can tell, this is an industry first. And how it works is basically when you've got your headphones on and you're listening to something, and if you say anything, literally anything, it'll basically pause whatever you're listening to or watching, and it'll let ambient noise in. It's smart, but it's also annoying because whenever I was watching something on Netflix, like a stand-up comedy, and if I don't turn off the option from the app, it would still be working. So even if I laughed, that's how powerful this is. Even if I laughed, it would pause and let ambient noise in. So after a while, it just got really annoying, and I just ended up turning off the option altogether. But if that doesn't bother you, if you think this is useful, then yeah, it's a pretty nifty feature to have. But I tell you what I'm more excited about, and that's the new multi-device function support. Finally, you can now you can connect these headphones to 2 devices simultaneously. And at first it was a little bit buggy, but then after a firmware update, it was very seamless. I used it both with my Sony TV and also with my smartphone, and yeah, very seamless. As soon as if I would put something on the TV, it would automatically connect to that. If I put something on my phone, it would automatically connect to that.
But then, are there any pitfalls of having that sort of a system in place?
There is only one, and it's not really a deal breaker. You do lose out on LDAC support, the high audio codec support we spoke about. It can't manage if you've got the multi-device function turned on, it won't be able to give you that. But honestly, unless you're some hotshot audiophile who's really into that fine music, it's not really a deal.
Gotta listen to this. Now gotta listen to that. Now there is another new feature on the XM4s compared to the XM3s, which is frequent location tracking, which basically means that the headphones understand where you go usually, and it figures out what settings you usually use where, and then it says, you know what, okay, I've learned this information now, so I'll just give you that option without you having to fiddle with me and mess around with the settings. It's just already done. Now you had something similar on the XM3s, but it was more manual. You had to register the location, and it would to some extent understand where you were, but not to the extent that this can. And you can still, on both, you can still register whatever location you're at and set specific settings. So like the moment you walk into office, it recognizes the geotag and says, okay, you now want ambient noise at level 2 and noise cancelling off, and etc.
And once you're back home, it's like, okay, you're in your room.
Exactly.
Just relax, have your noise cancellation on, no one will disturb you. So yeah. But now let's talk about the battery life. And there's not a major improvement over the last generation. You're still getting 30 hours with noise cancellation. You're getting 38 hours without. At first, this was a little bit disappointing to me, if I'm being honest, because considering this is a next-gen flagship device, that should be a necessity for any next-gen flagship device, that you do get better battery life, but that wasn't the case. But then if you think about it, if you consider that all the new features that these headphones are packing in, like speak to chat, like the new sensors, then 30 hours is very impressive.
Yeah, the fact that they've added functions, but they've still managed to keep the battery life the same. When you look at it like that, then it's way more impressive.
But this battery life is still on par with what other flagship headphones are offering.
And at the end of the day, even if you do run out, you have the quick charge technology, which means 10 minutes of charging will give you up to 5 hours of playback time, which is really impressive.
Really good,
And I'm glad that Sony has continued this tradition. They're not saying that, you know what, we've now gotten to the top, we've reached the peak, now we can afford to slack a bit. They're like, no, we're still going to keep the pressure on, we're going to keep building a better and better and better device.
But considering you've been using the XM3s for some time now, and considering that you know all the new features that the XM4s pack in, would you now upgrade?
Honestly, I wouldn't, because this is still a very good pair of headphones. If, let's say, I had not bought the XM3s and the XM4s were going to be my first experience of noise cancelling, I would totally go for them. It's a no-brainer, you get those.
So you would then just skip over the XM3s and go for this one.
Exactly. But if you let's say maybe want even a budget buy, then you could perhaps consider these. But I would argue that the amount of new features that you're getting in this, whether it's the new chip, not the new chip, but the new technologies that they've packed into the old chip, and the fact that they've got wear detection and speak to chat features, I would say this is still worth the upgrade money that Sony is charging consumers.
And also, there's this dilemma that you have with flagship headphones in general. They'll either give you great noise cancellation or they will give you really good sound quality. Over here, you don't have to pick because you're getting both, and that's true in spades. And honestly, something really special would have to knock off the Sony XM4s from their perch. This was the best noise cancelling headphone, and the XM4s are still the best noise cancelling headphones that money can buy. Okay, well, that's it for this episode of the EJ Tech Show. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that sub button, and if you haven't already, do download the Editor G app. We'll be back real soon. See you next time.